Something little boys dream of, building a car from scratch, racing it and having your talent picked up by the big guns of Formula One. A team from Auckland's University is putting the dream into action by making a car that should be able to accelerate, get this, from 0 to 100 kilometres an hour in just 3.5 seconds. Every bloke's going to want one. Well, in December, the students will take their pride and joy to Australia and the Formula FSAE competition at Melbourne's Victoria University. To tell us more, I'm joined by Paykel, the team leader of the project, and Professor Peter Brothers, the Dean of Auckland's University's Engineering Department. Well, good morning to you both.
Good morning.
First of all, Chris, can you tell me a little bit about the SAE competition? What is it and who's it for?
Oh, well, Formula SAE was set up by the Society of Automotive Engineers in 1982 in the States. Back then they were pretty mokey cars. They were running Briggs and Stratton engines and basically backyard sort of stuff. These days the competition's running in Australia as well and in England, and the cars are much higher technology than they were back then. So it's a student-run competition within the university, and they have to design, build, race and test the car in 1 year.
So it's from scratch. Well, I mean, 4 wheels is a good start, but how do you build a car from scratch?
Well, it's using what we learn in engineering, basically. The judges say that you should design everything except the tyres that the car's running on. So that's what we've basically gone out and tried to do. You purchase an engine and design around that, really.
Peter, it's a huge thing for the students, and this is the first time a New Zealand entry has gone into the competition, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. What's compelling about this is that at the University of Auckland, all our students do design work and do practical work, but the size and the scope and the focus of this project makes it really exciting, both for the students and for the educational value.
And Chris, there's strict guidelines, isn't there, that you have to stay within?
Yes, the rule book's about 150 pages, and
bit of late night swatting?
Oh, yeah, you have to learn that inside and out, and the main emphasis is on safety. So there's restrictions on the chassis design, and so it's strong enough to take a frontal impact and crash safety, firewalling, engine size restrictions, and it's set up so the competition is safe, but you know, there's a lot of room for design for the students. And
Okay, well, tell us about your entry. What's going to make it so special and so different?
Oh, well, this year it's our first year car, so we're not going all guns out. We're going to look at doing that next year, but we have a very, very good car this year. It's going to be very reliable. As you've said already, it's pretty quick, 0 to 100 in 3.5 seconds.
How do you know it's going to go that fast?
Newton's law of mass and the power that you can put through it gives you how quick it's going to go.
Completely confident.
Yep, and the car itself, though, there's a few. We have data loggers, live telemetry set up, so from the pits you can see 46 sensors running on the car and work out exactly what's going wrong or what's going right. And a few other designs here and there that we're pretty proud of. Yeah.
Well, Peter, this is exciting times. Many hours must have been spent. Worried about the students perhaps not finishing their degrees and getting the year finished?
Talking to people from other universities around the world who've done this, what they find is that when employers come to interview the students, the employers are really interested in what the students have done. Part of the deal is that there's over 40 students in this team, and the whole thing is completely student-run. They organise themselves, they sort of go out, get the funding from all their sponsors, and it's a completely self-regulating organism. It's very exciting to watch.
It's judged by the big guns, isn't it? You've got Formula One technicians there, haven't you?
Yes.
Virtually, yeah. The judges are from industry and have been involved in Formula One teams, and people like the late Carol Smith, he used to be a judge, and just pretty impressive guys. It's quite a privilege to have your design judged by those sorts of people. Yeah.
And is that a good reflection on the university, Peter?
Well, we think so, yeah. There's a lot of theory in engineering, but to have the students involved in something that's really practical and hands-on is, I think, one of the best things that can happen to them as they go through. So
and
we're
of course
delighted by it.
That's taken not hundreds but thousands of hours, hasn't it, Chris?
Yeah, it's clocking up pretty quickly. 100-hour weeks aren't out of the question. The all-nighters are still around.
Microwave meals?
Yep, well, we have a microwave in the race shop and a few other bits and pieces.
So what about funding? I mean, how are you getting the car there? How are you funding the whole thing?
Well, large proportions come from sponsorship from industry. We were amazed at the response. A little bit of enthusiasm goes a long way, and when you say you're going over to compete against the Aussies, their eyes light up and it's, oh, we'll give you some more money. It's great, yeah, it's been very good. And then with the university's help in setting up the race shop and also helping us get to Australia and building up the car, just really good.
And you'll be ready?
We will be, yes, guaranteed.
And this is the dream for you?
It is.
Is this what you want to do?
More as the year goes on, I realise, and a lot of the team realise that it's probably what they want to do with their lives to some degree. Motorsport's one of those things where you can be involved in motorsport and not have it as a career as well. And it's given us the ability to flex our muscles in a design sense and really show what we're made of. Yeah.
Chris Paykel, Peter Brothers, thanks for coming in. Good luck.
Thank you.
And don't speed home. All right.
Thanks.
I'm going to try and remember the Newton's Law answer when someone asks you a question that's complicated, just Newton's Law. Coming back in September. Now, you may remember this. In September, we spoke to a team from Auckland University's engineering department about their entry into December's Formula SAE race car construction competition in Melbourne. At the time, their car hadn't even hit the track. Well, now it has. And we have it for you. We also have team leader Chris Paykel, who joins me. How are you, Chris?
Very well, thank you, Paul.
And here it is, your magnificent entry. Very briefly, for people that didn't see us talk before, because as you left the studio, I said, oh, you've got to come back with the car.
That's right.
Of course, I never thought you would. But you have, and it looks brilliant. The competition itself, what were the rules? Really quickly, you had to design the thing from scratch? From scratch,
yes. Well, as I've said before, it's completely student designed and student run competition. The rules, there's rules on the suspension design. It's really an anti-go-kart rule. Yep. So students don't come along with a little go-kart. There's engine restrictions, wheel-based restrictions, and the rest of the rules really to do with safety, to try and make the competition as safe as possible.
Now, when we spoke last time, you told us how good it was going to be without really knowing, and your answer to the question, how do you know, was it's Newton's Law.
Newton's Law, yep.
Was Newton right? Now that you've had a chance to test it, was he right?
Well, Newton's Laws, I'm sticking with this. We are carrying a little bit more mass than we first anticipated, so a little bit more M, which means we have a little bit less A. So our acceleration.
See, I thought that when I saw it. I thought there's a bit more M there. Yep. A little bit less A.
A little bit less A, yep.
Yeah,
yep.
That's what I thought. Yeah. What does that mean?
Well, basically, I said, initially we thought it would be about 0 to 100 in 3.5 seconds. Yep. We're looking at about 3.7 seconds.
Oh, really?
So
that'll be a disappointment.
Yeah. We're still up to pace, though. We think with the other teams quite comfortably.
To win, you have to beat all of the other teams.
That's correct.
Do you have any intelligence on the other teams? I mean, how good are they?
Well, they release numbers to the public on their websites and through the competition forums. Yeah. But it's really hard to know until we get there, Paul. But I think from all accounts so far, we're definitely going to be top 10, possibly top 5, may even take the competition. It really depends on the day. That's racing.
I need to touch it, because this is, you made all this. I mean, this is carbon fibre, yes?
Yes.
And you've designed the whole thing. And built it.
Yes, our team's been working massive hours to get this finished. But yeah, it's all designed, all built by students, and the team's incredibly proud of it.
Is it easy to start?
Yeah, not too bad. It's
does it make that sort of, Top Gear noise when you start?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's, the red line. Sorry, the idle speed is about 4,000 RPM, so it's not built to take you to around the city.
Sure. When is the race?
The race is first weekend of December, so just under 2 weeks.
Do we want to see if we can start it? I mean, is that terribly complicated? Because I hadn't organised this with you before.
I actually don't think we have any fuel in the tank.
No fuel?
No, we...
There's a tip, you see. Newton's Law is always have fuel in the car.
That's right. Yeah. One of Newton's many laws. We were racing yesterday at Mary, doing a bit of testing, and I don't think we've topped it up since then. So,
where did the money come from to do this?
From sponsors, and partially from the university. We've had great response from industry. We're still a little bit short on money to get to Australia, so we're doing the best we can to raise a little bit more. But yeah, sponsors have. I mean, we couldn't have done this without New Zealand industry and the sponsors.
Because I mean, that must be an expensive part of it. I mean, you've got the car built, you're all ready to go, but just to get it there,
the logistics are very expensive. Yeah. We're air freighting the car over, and we've got it all booked in, but we still have to pay our bills. But we're confident that we'll get the money, and with a little bit more help from the university, it's going to be good. Can't wait.
And it's a brilliant project, isn't it? I mean, what a great way to get credits.
It is. Well, this year it wasn't initially recognised as part of our course. It's all extracurricular, and so as you can understand, with our final year engineering degree going on at the same time, it's really hard to fit time in for study or the car. So we've been putting in some pretty serious hours, but yeah, it's come up really well.
Well, I said we'd have you in the studio, and we did. The next time we see you, you will be victors.
Hopefully, yeah, we'll definitely come back. And,
You'll bring the
in
car
our-
back, won't you?
bring in our
Because it's
trophies
expensive to
and-
bring it back as well, but you will bring the car back.
Oh, definitely,
afterwards.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we've got some great deals through our sponsors
Cool.
in shipping and...
Okay, excellent, Chris. Well, thank you for bringing the
Thank you,
car
Paul.
in, and we will keep in touch.
Thank you.
Good luck. Good luck. You're with Breakfast. Yeah, isn't it a cool car? News and the latest business details are just ahead. Also coming up, some help to give up smoking ahead of the ban on lighting up in pubs and bars.